Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another cool Wick take. I have been getting quite a few questions regarding Amber's reliance on the anti-SLAPP statute, Virginia's anti-SLAPP statute, in relation to her claims that she was talking about matters of public concern, being DV, in her op-ed. So I thought that I would pull up the statute again after 2 years of not pulling it up on my screen and explain why she can, or anyone in her position can, refer to personal experiences while they are discussing issues or matters of public concern. So bringing up your own personal experiences does not negate the fact that the issue that you're talking about is a matter of public concern. Now, I'm generalizing here because I do not believe, based on the evidence available to me, that Amber Heard is being truthful or honest. So I'm going to pull up the statute and I'm going to read out the relevant parts and remind everyone that at the end of the day, there is a proviso, a very important proviso that applies, even if the person is talking about matters of public concern. So, a person shall be immune from civil liability or a claim of defamation based solely on statements regarding matters of public concern that would be protected under the First Amendment made by that person that are communicated to a third party. However, the immunity provided by this section, and I'll just highlight it here for you, shall not apply to any statements made with actual or constructive knowledge that they are false or with reckless disregard for whether they are false, which is actual malice, which is a standard that applies in this case because Johnny Depp is a public figure. Now, a lovely Plutonian linked me to Amber's latest Twitter post here, where she says she's going offline because the trial in Virginia is going to start. Now, she says, Johnny is suing me for an op-ed I wrote in the Washington Post in which I recounted my experience of DV. I never named him. Rather, I wrote about the price women pay for speaking out against men in power. So people are saying, well, she's relying on this defense of matters of public concern, and she's saying that this isn't a private or personal issue. This is a matter of public concern. So how is she relying on that defense when she admits herself in this post that she recounted her experience of DV? Which is why I want to remind everyone or explain to everyone, again, as I said earlier, it doesn't matter if you bring in your personal experiences. If you're actually raising awareness and discussing a matter of public concern, which DV is, then this defense applies, assuming the proviso doesn't kick in. So, assuming it's true and the statement wasn't made with actual malice. Now, these defenses, the anti-SLAPP statute, in Australia we have a very similar defense known as qualified privilege, just from a standalone point of view, not talking about Amber Heard using it, is incredibly important to allow people such as ourselves on our channel, Zach and I, to talk about matters of public concern. In our channel, it's male victims of female perpetrators, and also allowing us to link our personal experiences, because that's what made us interested in the topic, and that's why we discussed the topic. At least that was the starting point. Our personal experiences led to a channel, or the creation of a channel, to talk about the issue. So defenses like these are important for people like us who are actually telling the truth and recounting our personal experiences while we raise awareness in general. Now, notice how I said people who are speaking the truth. This is where Amber's defense, in my opinion, has a major hole in it. And this is because of that proviso, the proviso I highlighted, this one right here. If the statements were made with actual malice, this defense does not apply. This immunity, rather, does not apply, because he's saying the problem isn't that she is talking about DV, which is a matter of public concern. The problem is that she defamed me in doing so. You can't just go around saying whatever you want that is untrue and then rely on this defense or this immunity and say, but I'm talking about a matter of public concern here, so it doesn't matter. You can't sue me for defamation. This is protected under the First Amendment. It's not if it's a lie. It is if it's true. So there is a point of contention here. That's why her attempts to rely on this immunity and get the case dismissed, thrown out, have failed on numerous occasions for years now. Because there is a point of contention as to whether her statements were made with actual malice or not. Another thing where she honestly dug a hole for herself is, I don't think she retained a good lawyer when she had him read over her draft, because I remember seeing the emails between her and the lawyer. And initially she named him, said my husband Johnny, and then he said, no, we don't want to name him. And so they settled for the vague, 2 years ago, I was in such and such relationship. A good lawyer would have said, let's not specify a time frame. If you specify a time frame, we're dealing with an incredibly high-profile person here, and you were married to him, and you yourself are now an incredibly high-profile person. People are going to easily connect the dots, look back into 2016, because the op-ed was published in 2018, and think, well, who else could she be talking about? It is the one and only Johnny Depp. So if she had left out specifics like 2 years ago, and if she generalized the statement, because she has been in multiple relationships prior to meeting Johnny. So it could have been any one of these relationships. She even alludes to the fact that she experienced SA and harassment during her college years. So it could have been that. Johnny could have tried to sue her, and then her side would have strongly come back at him and gone, yeah, but we never specified which relationship. Where is the clear marker or identifier that she's talking about you? In this instance, it's the time frame. Another way she shot herself in the foot is by parading herself in front of the press when she went to get the restraining order against him back in May of 2016, covered in her bruises. If she had done it in secret, then Johnny couldn't argue that people would once again connect the dots and link it back to him. Because who was she married to in May 2016? Johnny Depp. And so by going to court and purposely having her photo taken, she inevitably and inextricably linked that incident to Johnny Depp, whether she named him or not. Now, most victims of DV, including my partner himself, who has suffered, are not proud of what happened to them, and they don't go around parading, showing off almost the damage that they have suffered so that people can react, take pity, I don't know. Genuine victims of DV, and I know a number of them, many of them close to me, are ashamed, which they shouldn't be. But there comes this feeling of, how could this happen to me? Or even, how can I show my face when the person who is meant to love and adore me is the person who did this to me? It's not a badge of honor. It's something that is kept in the dark. Sometimes the victim still loves the perpetrator. Again, there's this element of, I want to cover for them. Much like how Johnny covered for her when she hurt his finger, because he loved her. He didn't go parading around the press showing them his finger that was almost, I don't want to use descriptive language here, but you all know what happened back in 2015 in Australia. Now, that's not to say victims should be ashamed and shouldn't speak out. I encourage victims to speak out, as long as they're truly victims. Because the more awareness this area, whatever your gender, by the way, I'm not just talking male victims, any victim, whatever your gender, whatever your background, if you raise awareness to your circumstances, then it will help with reforming the law and ensuring that these people, these perpetrators, face the consequences of their actions rather than slip through the cracks, which happens a lot, unfortunately. So if Amber was a genuine victim of Johnny's, and I don't have definitive proof either way, I am very much swayed by Johnny's evidence. You all know this. This is not a secret. But if Amber was genuinely his victim, then I believe she would have every right to talk about her experience, use herself as a famous person to raise awareness surrounding an ongoing issue of DV. So the issue here is not that she's using her personal experience to talk about a matter of public concern. It's that these personal experiences themselves are questionable. And according to Johnny, they are outright lies. And as such, he has every right to contest her claims and challenge her and fight to clear his name. Talking about a personal issue does not negate the fact that it is still a matter of public concern. As humans, that's usually how we're programmed. We are not driven to a cause in such a passionate way until we go through it personally. And so we naturally link in our personal experiences while we fight for a cause. Not to say that's always the case. There are many people who lend their voice to a cause that they really didn't have any personal experiences with. But for the most part, you will find that if it's not the person themselves, someone close to them suffered. Someone close to them maybe passed away from an illness. And so the person becomes a crusader for raising awareness and trying to cure that specific illness. There's always a personal link, and that doesn't defeat the anti-SLAPP immunity. That's it for this video. Again, I hope I cleared things up. And if you do have any further questions, please feel free to send them through. If you're a patron, you can message me on Patreon. If not, you can message me on Instagram. And I will try my best to get back to you and respond. If not in a video form, then directly in messages. All right, take care, everyone. And I will see you in the next one.